Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip. Which is what they're offering some people, but they're not offering everybody per date deals, because we just got news this week that one Ace Austin has re-signed with TNA. He is a homegrown talent. They're taking care of one of their own. He's a young guy that we've been waiting for him to get to that main event scene for a long time. Now, he has main evented some shows, but at no point during the match where he was in, or even the build, did we ever think that he was going to come away with a victory. But he is kind of like, he's like one of our own. It's like we've watched this guy grow up, and they're securing him, and I like that. And he is like, now he's like one of those guys that, you know, when you think of TNA, you think of him now, because he's like, this is the place where you can come to see him, right? And you can come to see Chris Bay, and you can come to see their tag team. Now, they're a great tag team. It looks like, you know, we'll get into the recap later. It looks like that's not going to last for much longer. But Ace Austin has been awesome, and I got my guys in the chat here. And oh, you know what? I missed one of Lucha's questions. Lucha, I'll get to that question earlier, but so Lucha says, not me going back and forth here on Twitter, waiting for that Macklin re-signs graphic to drop. Oh, man, I hope so. After this week, I think we might be getting it. And then IO Productions makes a really good point. He said, well, that TNA narrative didn't last. Yeah, last week was a little bit doom and gloom with the Machine Guns leaving. And, you know, it got reported by, I think, Sapp and Mike Johnson, maybe one or the other or both, I can't remember, that TNA was offering per date deals to their veteran talent, and like they kind of made it seem like that was what was going to happen going forward. And then of course a week later, that's not true. Well, it was probably true of the Motor City Machine Guns. That's probably what they got offered. So I think people assumed that that's what they were going to do for a lot of folks going forward, but that just wasn't the case. That's just what they offered those two people specifically. And there is a rumor out there, like people are saying, that's what they offered Steve Macklin as well. They didn't offer him a full-time deal. They offered him a per date deal. And we'll see how that plays out. I think it's looking kind of good right now for us Steve Macklin fans, based on the booking. You can always you can tell where they're going based on booking a lot of times. Although Ace Austin's taken some L's lately and he re-signed. So, you know, he broke the news to Denise Salcedo, and that's just so unfortunate because she stinks. Like, I know she's a hard worker and she's a very nice person, but I can't get past 2 seconds of her talking. So for him to go on that show, and instead of coming on this show, which is watched by very few people, is insulting to me, because I had to let other people watch that and tell me what happened, because I just can't do it. And thankfully then they sent out a press release. But yeah, Ace Austin is, you know, when we talk about identity, you know, I talked about it here last week. You know, I said losing the Motor City Machine Guns, you know, they lost, you know, TNA lost a major part of their identity. If they would have lost Ace Austin, I would have said the same thing, because Ace Austin, keeping a guy like Ace Austin is exactly what TNA should be, right? Finding a young, unsigned, you know, green talent looking to make a name for themselves, and then bringing them aboard. And then, you know, I hate to say the word grooming, but you know, that sounds kind of weird now. Like the word has a different context today, but like honing their talent, right? Cultivating their talent. Yeah, cultivating is a better word. Cultivating their talent and turning them into a star. And that's kind of what they have done with Ace Austin. He's one of their guys now. And now it looks like it's very possible that the ABC are breaking up, which is sad for me because, at one point the tag team division was looking pretty fucking stout. We had the time splitters, or not, sorry, we had the jet setters. Shelly and Kushida were teaming a little bit too, but we had the jet setters. We had the Motor City Machine Guns. What? We had the Grizzly Young Vets. What? Sorry, I won't do that anymore. We had the System. We had the Rascals, and the ABC. And I was like, wow, this is a pretty fucking look. People are gonna say, what about the Good Hands? Fuck you. No, we're not talking about the Good Hands. They don't count. Those are guys that should be just standing in the ring when the stars come out of the tunnel to go kick some ass. Good Hands. I'll give you a good left hook. Talk about the Good Hands. So it looked like we had like this like super stacked tag division when now the Guns are out. ABC's breaking up. We did get a new tag team this week, and I'll introduce them on the next segment. Hold on, Lucha wants to fight. Lucha's trying to pick a fight with me. I stand with the Good Hands. You stand up with 2 good hands. I'm gonna learn how to fight, and we're gonna fight. I'll go get some training. I'll get a coach. It's been a long time since I've thrown a punch. I'm throwing it at you, goddammit. So, but yeah, the tag team division was pretty stacked, but looks like it's gonna get cut in half. But Ace Austin is sticking around, and I think that's really good news. And I hope that the same is true for Chris Bay. I think his contract comes up later this year, so I hope the same is true for him. And I hope that this means with Ace Austin sticking around longer and with the Machine Guns leaving, that opens up spots at the top of the card for a guy like Ace. I think it's time to push him up there. And I'm not talking about X Division. I'm not. I think it's time to start getting him in the mix back in with the heavyweight division and back in there with the top stars, because that's what's been lacking in TNA for a little while, like a new, young, hungry talent at the top of the card. We have, they pushed Steve Macklin up there. They pushed Steve Macklin, and he just didn't last long. They cut his legs from under him, and then now he's kind of back in the mid card ever since. I think it's time to get a new guy in that scene. I think that Ace Austin should be in that scene. Absolutely.